Land investing and land wholesaling has taken over the real estate world by storm in the last 5 years more than ever. And if you click this video, most likely you're looking for the best software for your business. And I came to tell you that I think I found that software, and today we're gonna break it down completely and see if this is something that can help in your business. My name is Ralph. I've been in real estate wholesaling for about 6 years now, and about 80% of my leads have been land. I feel very confident when I tell you that I think LandPortal might be the best land software out there. So let's jump right into the software and see what it has to offer. So let's just break down every single thing that the software has to offer. You know, when you're looking and trying to find properties to wholesale or invest in, I think the main thing that you want to start with is a market research. And as a person that has multiple states, have moved different markets, I have marketed total in about 25 different markets, 25 different counties. So I know what it takes to research every single time to try to find the best area to wholesale or invest in land. I believe LandPortal has made this so much easier for you. So if you click market research, what you find is the entire map of United States, and you can do research based on the area you're trying to wholesale. So let's just zoom in. So what do you see here? You see sold properties with vacant lots within the last 12 months. What you see red means the area is not good for land. You see green as the area there's a lot of land sales. So what this should tell you is that there are certain areas in the country where there's a lot of land sales. Too much land sales can be good, cannot be good, so it depends, right? So as you see, the whole state of Florida is pretty much green, which was my main state before, and I still do a lot of marketing there. Now I'm in North Carolina. As you can see, a lot of it is still green. As you can see, most of North Carolina is also green, specifically Charlotte and this corridor of Guilford County, which is the Greensboro going all the way to Raleigh. So this corridor is green, and then some parts right here as well. And obviously by the coast. Oh, coast is always good, right? And how does this determine, right? So this is a heat map, right? So you go for sold or for sale properties. So depending on what you want to look for. As you see, for sale, change things up a little bit, but not much, right? Most of the time, sold and for sale will probably be somewhat in the same range. You can look this by houses if you want to, even though they are land software, they do tell you the data based on houses. As you can see, it's kind of very similar, right? And it's just whatever areas are progressing the most. What I'm very surprised to see is Georgia is not crazy when it comes to growth, when it comes to houses and land. But either way, I see this interesting part of Alabama is, so this is very interesting for me too. I'm actually going to be using this to research my next market as I'm looking to change markets. So you can go by acreage, you can go by statistics, you can do like, hey, median price, what is the median price, all of that stuff. So this is super helpful, right? So this is a heat map. Like, let's say I only want to do up to 1 acre. I'm only interested in infill lots. As you can see, certain parts are just gone. So if you want to do by the amount of properties and that are under 1 acre, you can see certain areas have been eliminated because there are just not enough smaller properties. If you want to do a specific market research, let's do, you want to do 27265 area code, and you want to search here. And then in this area, you want to see that this acreage, within how many days, how many properties have sold. You can do land data, all data if you want to, sold or for sale, right? So this can create your market analysis based on specific area. It also tell you population increase, decrease, all that stuff, whatever has been going on. You can do market comps, which is just you put in the county and the APN, and it'll give you a comp report based on the property. And if you want to drill deeper into a property or to an area, you're like, oh, well, I want to not just see a heat map, but I want to set up specific filters, and I want to find an area that I want to buy land in. I want to have specific growth. I don't want population, the density, all of that stuff. This provides you. And the cool thing is that LandPortal actually has a lot of training material. So if you're not sure about some of this, they will help you with this. So let's say you did your market research and you found that, hey, this is the area I want to invest in. Now you're starting to pull leads, right? And that's obviously their main thing that they offer. Let's just say you settled on Florida, and I'm going to give you a county that, let's just say we're going to test that out. It's called Highlands County, Florida, middle of Florida right here. Some growth is going on this corridor. You can even see it from the map, but there's a lot of properties being built here, and I'm aware of this area. So let's just say, hey, this is the area I want to wholesale in, or I want to buy land in because it's a part of growth corridor. So, okay, you do this, right? Then you start looking for filters. So you can do like details here. Let's say you want to only look for land. You want to be max 1 acre. You don't want anything too big. You want the status to be like you don't care about any of the stuff. Let's say you don't need to be on the market and all of that. Then you can actually go here and start doing some certain criteria searches, this is very unique because none of the other softwares out there really do it to this extent. You want it to be exclude active listings, which I personally don't like active listings, right? You want to see if you can find single residential. Being able to search by zoning is so cool. And for the value that the software provides, I think you get a lot. As I'm looking through this and looking at value, one thing I want to pause and tell you is that if you sign up for the advanced plan, which is $99.95 a month, you actually, using my link, can get 1,000 free skip traces and 1,000 free leads pulled in the first month. So this is almost $160 worth of value just using my link. So think about it this way. You're getting your first month pretty much for free and getting $60 to use the platform. I mean, it's an awesome value. Even if you go to another platforms that I suggest skip tracing, it's 15, 14 cents per skip trace. So that's $140, $150. And you can just take that $100, use it in this, and test it out and see if you like it. So link is gonna be pinned comment down below, so go ahead and check it out. All right, so let's get back to the platform, right? So as you're looking through this, the other things that you can do, obviously you can do land use, you can actually do percentage of slope, which is for Florida, doesn't apply, but there are a lot of states, for example, as I'm doing North Carolina, I know that it's a big deal. Like I don't want anything over 15% slope, for example. But let's say it's not important, right? We're just gonna keep 15%, whatever. So buildability is something interesting. They use AI to determine the buildability, which is like properties without a crazy slope or without being in the water or whatever it is. So if you are doing areas that are like this one, there's so many lakes, right? Or if you're doing properties in North Carolina, if you're doing some properties in Tennessee, Alabama, or Georgia, there are a lot of hills, a lot of mountains. So some areas are not as buildable. So I know what it's like to waste your money on leads that are just not good, and you're texting, calling them, wasting time and money of yourself and your VAs. And then eventually you just find out they're not good and you just have to dispose them as dead. But if you could prevent that from happening, why would you not? And this software allows you to do exactly that. So you have buildability, which you want, hey, I want at least 30% of the lot to be buildable. Let's just say, for example, but I'm not gonna do it right now, but you want to not have landlocked properties. You wanna have a certain percentage of road frontage, all of that stuff. So you get to use all of this in order to find properties. So after you apply that, let's see how many properties does it give us. So the list has given us almost 5,889 properties. Obviously you have to shorten this out, make it smaller. So I'm gonna finagle with this obviously a little later, because the cool thing about it, I'm actually going to run their skip tracing. So not only you get to see how the platform works, you get to see if their skip tracing is worth it. So I'm actually gonna pull a list that I wanna market to myself directly, and I'm gonna text that list. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show you the results from that skip tracing. So let's say you wanted to inspect this specific property and you wanted to understand a little bit better about it. I think this is a good property to potentially buy or wholesale, whatever. I see a lot of homes here, but you know, as you can also see here, some properties are just empty. So this might be not the best area. Let's look into an area that it would be interesting for us to wholesale. We want to make sure that there's a lot of new construction going on, right? But we also want to make sure it's not like a middle of nowhere and there's like this one, for example. This one is a good lot to look into. So let's go ahead and click it and get some information about it. All right, so we have the information, right? So it's actually owned by the LLC, so very interesting. But it gives you all the info here. The other thing that you can do directly from you can just skip trace this particular one if you want to. You can skip trace it and it will provide all of that obviously directly to you. If you want to get MLS information, they do offer that, which is awesome. What you can also do, add it to the list, all of that. The good thing about it is that you can actually see the buildability score, and you can ask for it to show you which part of the property is buildable. As you can see here, obviously the flat land is Florida, so the whole lot is buildable. But if this was somewhere in North Carolina or somewhere else, this would show you only a percentage of the lot, or it would yellow out what part of the lot can be buildable. Super useful. It tells you the slope, all of that information, right? So awesome, love it. The other big thing that recently they've started doing is actually mailing directly from the software. If you are in land investing, marketing over mail is probably the main method of marketing most people use. So they actually just made it easy for you. You can do it directly here. They give you their prices and everything like that. And it's real handwriting. So it's robotic arm that actually writes all of this. So it does not look printed or any of that stuff. So it looks great. I've used one. I actually have my own printer that does that for me, but that's a different conversation. But I have used other services like LandPortal before. Whenever they do have a robotic arm writing it for you, it does great comparing to a printed one. So much better. All right, so obviously this is everything that the platform provides, right? There's so much more. There's so many little things, but this is how you would use the platform. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the list of the county that I showed a little earlier. I'm going to text them. In about 3-4 days, I should get results. So I'm going to tune back into this video and you're going to see results, the text that we did for this specific county using LandPortal's skip trace. All right, guys, so it has been a couple of days. We've been running texting for the LandPortal leads to test their skip tracing, and I'll give you some of the results. So we ran 3 different campaigns, and all 3 campaigns perform a little bit differently, and there's a reason why. There are campaigns that are more competitive, and there are campaigns that are less competitive. So the less competitive campaign, which is Berkeley County in North Carolina, has performed insanely well. We've got 18 leads from that campaign, and right now we actually have a property under contract and I'm hoping to wholesale it pretty soon. And obviously there's some other cultivation leads that we have in the system. If you know the system that I've created for myself when it comes to texting, none of these leads will ever leave the system unless I delete them myself. So therefore, while right now it may say 18 leads, it actually may say a lot more in like 1 or 2 weeks because we're gonna keep getting leads from that system. Asheboro and Davidson is 2 other counties that we marketed. Those performed less good, honestly. They performed like 4 and 5 leads per campaign, but to be fair, there was less phone numbers in those campaigns as well. So overall, I wouldn't say it was bad, but it was okay. So here's my thought process, that if you are in the process of wholesaling or investing and you have an area that you absolutely love, LandPortal can be a really good tool for you to get, especially using my link, because you do get 1,000 free skip traces, and that's an absolutely great value. When you do that, that's pretty much like free month of use or whatever it is. So I absolutely love that, but you have to sign up for the $99 plan. So it's just a great tool if you already have a great county that you're working in, great area that you're working in. But if you are in the process of finding a new area, LandPortal is irreplaceable tool in my opinion. Their market research, the ability to get so many details and narrow down your list so well that you're not wasting money on leads that don't matter. I absolutely love that. I really think that's a great tool. I mean, that's exactly what I use it for. I'm consistently expanding in new markets because I'm able to text and market so well and so actually inexpensively because of the systems I've created. I'm able to consistently expand in new markets, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So my thought process is that either way, it's a great system for you to have, and either way, you should use the link down in the pinned comment below to sign up for LandPortal and get yourself 1,000 free skip traces and 1,000 free exports. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And again, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.